Welcome to Stillworks and Brewing. My name is Randy, and this is the channel that's all about home distillation and brewing. So what do we got going on today? Well, today we are going to distill out our wheat vodka. This ought to be a lot of fun. We're going to use bubble plate. So what's our first step? Well, our first step is we're going to have to go in, open up our fermenter, use a hydrometer, and make sure that the fermentation is complete. I'm sure it is. It's been 2 weeks, so there should be no problem with that. But let's check it out anyway, okay? Okay, so we're in our fermentation room. I already loosened the lid. Let's, it sure looks done, but let's see where we're at, okay? Whoop. Okay, so it's looking like it is completely done. If it stopped bobbling around. If you can see right there, it's at the top of the blue line. So she finished out real dry. Right there, just below the blue line. I don't know if you can see that. You move it around so you can see it. There we go. Alright, she was floating right there at the top of the blue line. I mean, that's below 1. You know, 1 would be completely done. So she's almost to 0.999. That is fantastic. If you taste it, it's real sour. That means that all the sugar's gone. Smells like beer. Okay, so I got it all siphoned over into my still pot. So now the next step, what we got to do is we want to degas it. So what do we do that with? Well, that's pretty easy. I got a stir thing here for my wine, and you just use a cordless drill. It's so easy to do. All right, so let me. What we're trying to do is not the CO2 gas that's trapped in the liquid out. It only takes a couple minutes. You see how it's all foaming up? Alright, that's about all you need to do. Okay, so we're all degassed. The next thing I'm going to do is I got my pulse width modifier switch here. I'm going to start putting electric down into the element. And I also think I'll put a little bit of propane underneath of it at a low setting, just to help it warm up a little bit faster. And then after that, I mean, just while we're stacking our still out, it can be warming up. Okay, so I got my column all set up, and you notice I have this here is going to be my cold water in, and I got two valves here so I can regulate the water going to Move up. I can regulate the water going to my pre-condenser, and I can also regulate it going to my Liebig condenser, which is right here. Okay? So, what we're doing right now, I actually set up a kind of a tall column this time, because I was worried about that wheat foaming up a lot. I don't know if it's going to foam up a lot or not, but so I just put one piece and about 12-inch piece of 2-inch column. Then I put my sight glass so I keep an eye on it, and then I got my bubble plate. Okay, so we're heating up now. We'll find out here shortly if she ought to start to work. Okay, so I'll be back. Hey, just to give you an update where I'm at, our pot temperature is about 178, 179, right? Almost 180. I can start to see in the sight glass here. I can start to see some vapors coming up, and I can also see in my bubble plates, the first three is starting to get a lot of condensation on the inside. So what's going to happen, I have my pre-condenser shut off at this time. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to collect, I'm going to say my first 4 to 6 ounces of distillate off, and I'm going to consider that my 4 shots and heads. Okay, I am getting a couple little drips, and it is very pungent. So what I'll do is after I collect my 4 to 6 ounces off, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the water going to my pre-condenser, and I want to go into full reflux. Okay, so what that means is my vapors will come up, hit this point, and then start dropping down, and we're just going to do that for a little bit. Okay, so we're getting close to being run. Like I said, I am getting a few drips of stuff off. So like I've said a million times in the past, now is not a time to go get a cup of coffee. And I would like to point out, this is one time, you know, we all enjoy our spirits, but wait till after we're done to enjoy the spirits. Okay, I just had to turn the heat down. If you notice, even with my my pre-condenser shut off, there ain't no cool. It's full of water, but there ain't no cooling water going to it. My plates are starting to load up, so I just turned the heat down just a little bit. I'm getting a nice stream coming off. So what I'm going to do is I turned the heat down a little bit. It takes a couple minutes for it to react. We're going to slow her down a little bit, and as soon as I collect my first 6 ounces, I'm going to go into full reflux. Okay, so I collected my first 6 ounces off, and what I did, and it happens quickly, is I turned my cooling water on to my pre-condenser, and it's starting to load up my plates, right? My production is just about stopped. So what we're going to do is let this reflux for a little while, and then we'll start slowing the water down to the pre-condenser until we get like the stream that we want, you know, dripping and spurting and stuff like that. But she's working very well. I mean, you can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but it is pouring down from the condenser. Doing a nice job. I mean, I just got a couple drips here. It smells fantastic. So, all right. So we're gonna let this go for probably about 10 minutes. And like I said before, we'll start easing the water off of the pre-condenser, and then start letting some of this go on through. Okay, so we'll be here for a while. Everything's working like we want. Okay, and I haven't had no no foam building up, so I'm glad I put this extra piece on the column. Everything seems to be working great. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. I'm gonna start backing off the water going to the pre-condenser. I mean, we're getting a couple drips every once in a while, and you'll see that start to pick up. So that's what I like about a valve on this. I can control both my condensers the way I want to. It'd take a couple minutes for it to balance out. Because what it's going to have to end up doing is warming the water up, because it's still pretty cool. It'd have to warm that water up that's trapped in that condenser to start letting it go through. Okay. I mean, because my head temperature dropped. It's like 130, so yeah, it's going to take heat up. It's starting to warm it up now. I can feel it. So I bet she's going to start dripping here pretty soon. My head temperature should start going. Okay, so you see she's starting to produce now. My pre-condenser is warming up. It's starting to let the vapor fumes go by. So what I will do now is I will control how much my plates are filling up by how much cooling water I'm going to go that. It don't take very much. So I got a nice broken stream. Okay, and once it warms this water up, yeah, she's getting pretty warm now, and she's speeding up here. So what I want to do is just, I mean, crack it so slightly. And I'm going to kind of regulate by my output, is what I'm going to do. Okay? But she's working pretty nice so far. Got a nice little puddle on each one of my plates. Okay, so we're going to be here collecting for a while. Okay, so we shut down. I mean, we started off with 160. Then we went to 145. Then we went to another 145. And then I collected a half at 100. And I was watching it. And this last one, she just dropped off down to 50 like a heartbeat. Okay, so we shut down, and you can actually see it's in the tails. Okay, what's next? Well, I think there was a problem went on with this run, and I'm not quite sure what it is, but I thought that the ABV coming off the still was a little bit low for me of what I wanted. Okay, I mean, on average it was like what, 135 or something. I just thought that was a little bit low. So I'll figure out what I did wrong. We're going to put that distillate back in the still. Make sure that we use some good clean water to drop the ABV below 40, and we're going to rerun it and see what comes up. I mean, it tasted fine, but it just ain't quite what I wanted. Okay, so I think it'd be a lot better if we just redistill it. I think it'd be fine. So we chalk everything up to a learning experience. So, alright, so that's what we're going to do. Hey, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time here on Stillworks and Brewing.